Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Distinguished guests, our forum will begin in 5 minutes. Please have a seat. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, our forum will begin in 5 minutes. Please have a seat. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, good morning. Welcome to the NTPU Cross UC Berkeley Cross TCX Forum. Today's forum has been carbon neutral. I'm Nikki from the Office of International Affairs, and I'll be the MC for today's event. We're honored to have all the esteemed guests from various institutions who bring diverse perspectives to our discussion. On behalf of National Taipei University, we would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you for joining us today. First of all, I would like to introduce our honorable guest from one of the world's leading academic institutions representing the University of California, Berkeley. Please welcome Professor Solomon Darwin, Executive Director, Garwood Center for Corporate Innovation, Haas School of Business. Mr. William Shi, Fellow Representative, Garwood Center for Corporate Innovation, Taiwan, Haas School of Business. Also, we're privileged to host the representatives from Taiwan Carbon Solution Exchange, a key player in advancing sustainable practices in Taiwan, Mr. Joshua Tian, Chief Executive Officer of TCX. We're also delighted to have representatives from the Buddhist Tzu Charity Foundation, Mr. Yan Bo-wen, Chief Executive Officer. Moreover, we're pleased to invite guests from Taiwan Social Innovation and Sustainable Development Association, Dr. Yang Kun-xiu, Chairman of TSISDA. Last but not least, I would like to introduce other faculty members from National Taipei University. Professor Chen Junqiang, Executive Vice President of NTPU. Professor Chi Xianglin, Vice President for Finance and Sustainable Development of NTPU. Professor Li Jianming, Institute of Natural Resource Management. Professor Wei Xisheng, Dean of Research and Development. Associate Professor Joseph Ma, Associate Dean for the Office of International Affairs. Associate Professor Jia Xin, Associate Dean of Academic Affairs. Professor Wei Wanming, Dean of International College of Sustainability Innovations. Professor Chen Youshan, Dean of College of Business. Professor Zhang Yushan, Dean of College of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science. Associate Professor Chen Shuling, Chair of Department of Finance and Cooperative Management. Professor Sherry Zhan, Program Director, Master Program of Business Administration in Finance. Professor Huang Qirui, Department of Finance and Cooperative Management. Professor Lin Zhaoyin, Department of Social Work. Professor Dai Minyu, Graduate Institute of Information Management. And to kick off the event, please join me in welcoming Professor Chi Xianglin to the stage for the opening remarks. Big hands.
Good morning. Good morning, Professor Darwin and the CEO Yan, CEO Tian, and CEO Yan, Mr. William Xu, and all of my dear colleagues and distinguished guests. I'm Chi Xianglin, Vice President for Finance and Sustainable Development. On behalf of NTPU, National Taipei University, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you who are joining this forum today. A collaborative effort between NTPU, UC Berkeley, and the Taiwan Carbon Solution Exchange. Our focus today is on open innovation, climate change, and ESG. As we all know, Taiwan is a small country according to its national territory area. It's leading in the development of the semiconductor industry. And in fact, Taiwan is unique in its ESG development. According to the number of constituents in Dow Jones Sustainability Indices, Taiwan is the third most country, preceded only by the United States and Japan. So Taiwan is a country full of hope that it can be doing good and doing well at the same time for our planet. We, National Taipei University, is a medium-sized university, but we are very unique in the teaching and research in ESG in most of the colleges. For example, ESG, low carbon management, AI for good, sustainable cities, and we also have an International College of Sustainability Innovation. Especially our College of Business have engaged in our own ESG rating system, Taiwan Sustainability Ratings, for more than 8 years. Based on the ratings, we have collaborated with Taiwan Index Plus Corporation, TIP, a subsidiary fully funded by Taiwan Stock Exchange, to issue 13 ESG-related indices and launch 7 ESG-related index funds and ETFs, with fund size more than 34 billion NT dollars. It's about 1.05 billion US dollars. As of July 3rd, 2024, ESG needs innovations. The Gao Center for Corporate Innovation, under the skilled leadership of the Executive Director, Professor Solomon Darwin, has rich heritage of facilitating close industry collaborations and fostering open innovation ecosystem. Movement initiative under Open Innovation Framework. NTPU is eager to explore further collaboration opportunities with the Gao Center, whether through student and faculty exchanges or by organizing forums and workshops. We also aim to create a platform for academia, industry, government, including TCX, and the Tzu Chi Foundation to develop innovative solutions for climate change and sustainable development. In conclusion, open innovation is vital for tackling climate change and ESG challenges. I hope we can all gain valuable insights and inspiration through today's forum. Thank you for your participation and commitment. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Chu, for your warm welcomings. And next, we would like to welcome Mr. Joshua Tian, CEO of Taiwan Carbon Solution Exchange, to share his opening remarks.
Professor Tzu Xianglin, the Vice President of National Taipei University, and Mr. Yan Bo-wen, the CEO of Tzu Chi Foundation, and Professor Zhang Yusan, Dean of College of Engineering and Computing, and Professor Jianmin Li, and ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I'm Joshua Tian, the CEO of Taiwan Carbon Solution Exchange. Climate change is no longer a distant threat. To enhance the awareness of the climate change, our Congress has passed the Climate Change Response Act in year 2023. And according to the Article 36 of that act, Taiwan Carbon Solution Exchange, or TCX, are formally established on August in year 2023. So, in December last year, we successfully launched our international carbon credits with a created total trading volume of more than 80,000 tons of carbon credits for the first day of trading. And this year, the TCX also launched a so-called Blue Carbon project, and it's focused in the mangrove project. And just a few weeks ago, we launched Green Carbon projects. And both projects are so-called the carbon removal project. They are focused in helping our industries, especially semiconductor industries, to meet their carbon neutrality goals. We know that just several weeks ago, industrial giants like Microsoft, Google, and Meta, and Apple, they formed a coalition called Symbiosis Coalition. And they announced to purchase more than 20 million tons of carbon dioxide equivalent before year 2030. And so, as an important part of global supply chain, Taiwanese industries need to have some mechanism to help them to obey the international rules and the regulations to fulfill their obligations as part of the global community. And on the Earth Day this year, the President Lai emphasized the dual threat of digital and net zero transitions to uplift small and medium-sized enterprises and cultivate a smart and sustainable Taiwan environment. So today we are honored to have Professor Solomon Darwin at Haas School of Business from UC Berkeley. And he's an expert in digital transformation, social impact, entrepreneurship, and open innovations. We are very much looking forward to his speech today. In addition, we are very happy to get insights from Mr. Yan Bo-wen, the CEO of Tzu Chi Foundation, and to share their insights of sustainable development in Tzu Chi Foundation. And finally, I want to thank National Taipei University for organizing this forum, and I want to express my sincere gratitude to all those who have contributed to this forum. Your contribution and dedication are highly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tian. And we will now please welcome the Associate Dean of the Office of International Affairs, Professor Joseph Ma, to deliver his openings.
So, dear Professor Darwin, Vice President Professor Chi, and 田总经理、严执行长、杨理事长和池教授, and all of our honored guests and friends. Thank you for having me here today. I'm speaking on behalf of OIA at NTPU. As we all know, the world has been changing dramatically due to many factors, especially since the COVID-19 pandemic. Global climate change is a critical issue that no one can ignore, and it has become fundamental to human survival. So in rich countries like the United States, Australia, France, and Taiwan, people often complain about the summer getting hotter. However, they have the means to buy air conditioner, drink cold water and beers, and travel to cooler places. Even though studies have shown that air travel has been a major source of CO2 emission. On the other hand, climate change is having a devastating impact on poor countries like Brazil, Zambia, Yemen, and Pakistan. More and more people and livestock are dying due to extreme heat, lack of clean water, shortage of food, and power outages. While we are enjoying the benefits of new technology, such as AI, smartphones, and smart cars, we are also urgently need to find ways to protect our environment, reduce the harms of climate change, and promote sustainability. And that is also why we are here today. We need more scholars who are both smart and dedicated to working on solutions to climate change and achieving the Sustainable Development Goals standing for SDGs. So National Taipei University has been one of the first to research issues in relation to ESG, which was started by our College of Business. I believe that Vice President Professor Chi and many of the scholars here today in this room were the founding members committed to the ESG mission. The College of Business at NTPU also established the Center for Corporate Sustainability, aiming to foster green practices in the business field. Our university also encourages faculty to incorporate SDGs into their lectures, classrooms, and research projects, and to collaborate across disciplines. In addition to today's forum participants, we also have strong research team at the College of Public Affairs working on, for instance, urban sustainability, such as reducing urban heat islands and planning livable cities. We also have economists and sociologists at the College of Social Sciences studying the interaction between the natural environment and human life, considering the future role of green enterprise. Finally, our faculty at the College of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science are making significant contributions to technological progress and innovation. So I believe now is the perfect time for us to work together on the issue of climate change. I also believe that National Taipei University has been ready and is ready to take on the responsibility. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ma. And now, before we continue, I invite all speakers, the distinguished guests, and participants to join and gather for a group photo. Please take a look at the camera over right here. And for participants sitting behind, maybe we can sit closer or cuddle a little bit so the camera can make sure to photo your big smiles. Okay, count on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, another one, big smile. 1, 2, 3. How about thumbs up? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the last one. 1. Okay. 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you so much. And after all these insightful opening remarks, it is my pleasure to introduce our first keynote speaker, Professor Solomon Darwin from the University of California, Berkeley, to deliver his speech. Big hands.
It is so good to be here this morning. So many distinguished people, so many important people. If I were to thank each one, I think I'll run out of time. But let's get to the business. And I had choose this title. You might be thinking, well, he's a man who's going to come from Berkeley and give us solutions, technology solutions. But I'm telling you today, I want to talk about something very controversial that we need to, it's coming? I think it was there before. While they're fixing it, so let me, maybe I'll begin speaking. All right, there we go. We got it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I wanted to talk to you about this topic here, solutions beyond technology for climate change. Because I'm going to make a statement today that may not be very popular, or may be very unpopular. Technology is not the savior. Technology is a trap. We as human beings need to think twice about how we're going to approach this problem if we were to survive. Just want to give you this slide here. We as human beings have created more stuff than the entire biomass on Earth. How could that be? We made more stuff than the forests and life in the sea and in the air and on land. There's a problem with it. How could one species, right, create so much concrete, so much gravel, so much bricks, asphalt, metals, plastics? Even plastics is a small component of it. It's killing us. How could we make that? One species. What does that do? It kills the planet. We are displacing species that are becoming extinct. We are disturbing, we're moving stuff from here to there rather than to leave it the way it is. Here's the biomass. Plants make most of it, bacteria, fungi, animals. We are not even on this list because we are so tiny. We are so tiny. We are so tiny, there we are. We are like the king, ruling this planet as a steward, but creating all this mess. How could one species have such an impact on the future of mankind and all the species on Earth? If I were to take all the human beings on Earth living today, give them 1 meter of space to stand, they will all fit in Los Angeles, California. See this little dot? All the human species, right, will be entire humanity right there. And we created this mess. We're ruining the entire biomass and by creating this. Is there a need to shift gravel or granite from India to America? Or some stuff from America to India and pollute the air? This year alone, we'll have more people, twice or 3 times more people than the nation of India on the airplane traveling, polluting the air. So we need to come to a new realization. So either we can fit in, I have other statistics in Beijing and so on there. Beijing is too big to fit all the human beings, so LA is the right amount. So here are some places that where we can all fit. So that gives you a little bit of a perspective to my talk this morning and how we need to think. There are 8 useless things in this universe, in our world that we live in. 8 useless things. Because we need to get our priorities right. The first thing that is useless is data. Data is useless unless it is converted into information. Information gives you patterns. Information is also useless unless it is converted into knowledge. Knowledge tells you how to do it. Otherwise, all that data, all that information is totally useless for us. But we spend so much energy in creating it. And knowledge is also useless in this world unless it flows. Sitting in your head is useless to me unless it flows from your brain to my brain. That is where open innovation comes in. Knowledge flows are also useless unless they create something useful that will help humanity, like technology. Technology or useful assets are also useless without a business model, because that's what drives the whole world around, is distributing the value we create. Business models. Business models are also useless unless they are scalable. They need to benefit the entire humanity, not just the rich people. We don't make products and services for poor people. That's 80% of the world. Scalability is also useless if it destroys sustainability. Creating 2 billion cars, polluting the air, you can scale it, but if it kills the environment in the process. So scalability should not be the enemy of sustainability. Sustainability is useless also if it destroys the planet that we live in. There's nothing wrong in sustainability, but if it's destroying our planet, we're just greenwashing it. We don't have a foot to stand on. So, what is happiness? Happiness is about being a new definition for happiness. Happiness is being in content with what we have and not with what we don't have. Living within our means and within reach, and being happy with what God gave us, rather than to reach beyond and into the stars and create a mess of our lives. And happiness is also something about people are happier when being happy with people that God put into our lives, rather than to get on Facebook, social media. Just being happy with people that God put into our lives, our parents, our moms and dads, our relatives. We are looking something way beyond. There are so many. I have 500 Facebook friends, they say. Yeah, but how about your relationship with your mother? Are you grateful? You'll be much happier. So this is something that I also want to say. But there's a man called Socrates. You all know him. He used to go to the market every single day, came back buying nothing. And someday people asked him, why do you go to the market every day and not buy anything? He said to come to the realization that how many things that I do not need. That's what's creating the mess we're in, is we are creating so much that we do not need to be happy, to survive. 8 useless things. Some disturbing trends. I had the privilege of hosting the CEO of TSMC North America last year, and he pointed out to us there's an exponential demand for semiconductors because everything today has a chip in it. It gives us more conveniences, right? So software is eating the world, but hardware is feeding it. Data is driving it. Greed is powering it, and the bottlenecks are two things that we do not have in abundance: energy and talent. We're replacing those by machines and other things that are not desirable. I asked the Siemens CEO who was speaking to us and said, how do you manage to bridge this gap between the demand for semiconductors, which is really exponential, and the talent is going this way, right? So how do you bridge that gap? They said, oh, well, we're going to use AI. Okay, get someone in there, and they'll do it. We live. So that's the problem, right? So here's something that I want to show you. This is President Kennedy with one of the leading scientists that contributed to the Apollo 8 projects, where he put man on the moon, Dr. Werner. And Dr. Werner said this in one of his papers. And of course, this is, all know about Elon Musk. He's trying to get off the planet. He thinks that we are doomed. This is what Werner said, very insightful saying. Whereas all living beings seem to find their places in the natural order and fulfill their role in life with a kind of calm acceptance, man exhibits confusion. Why this anxiety? Why the storm and stress? And he says, man really seems to be the only living creature uncertain of his role and place in the universe. It's about in search for belonging. There's some vacuum within every human being that needs to be filled, but he is not very happy and content, like all the other creatures. In his uncertainty, he has been calling since time immemorial upon the stars and the universe for salvation and for the answer to this eternal question: who am I? Why am I here? Maybe we need to figure this out first before we think about climate change and all these other things. So I think I'm going to suggest to you we need to think beyond technology in order to solve our problems on Earth. So I teach commercialization of technology at UC Berkeley, director of corporate innovation there. The more I live, I'm beginning to understand that technology is a trap and not a savior of humankind. The assets created by human knowledge or intellect are not the answer if mankind were to survive. We need to look beyond. It all began with our hunger for independence and greed, the thirst for knowledge without any regard to discernment or wisdom. Those of us from the Christian tradition that we were once placed in a beautiful garden that is dressed beautifully, a perfect environment. We were given a choice. We chose to partake from the tree of knowledge and not the tree of life that was right next to it. So because we were deceived into thinking we could be independent and not interdependent with nature, and that we could be greater than God. This is where our hunger for independence and power and greed began, and it was a declining curve since then. Humanity is not headed, in my opinion, to a technologically, ingeniously engineered utopia. Sorry to say that. Jimmy Carter, back in 1979, in his inaugural speech, said, "I am ashamed of my country because we are the world's largest arms merchant." That was back in 1979. Today, we must be 1,000 times more ashamed as every nation increasing their military budgets, building more nukes, prompted by the United States. More powerful nukes are being built that were more powerful, 200 times more than the bombs that fell on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The freedom that God gave us to rule and replenish the planet and to be a good steward of it, we passed on that power to the driver in the driverless car. We are now run by algorithms that we may not have control over. That's the world we live in. I see little hope for a better world unless we change. The world is now more dangerous, more scary, and more deadly. We are not headed, in my opinion, to a world of peace and prosperity. It was a one-time vision that is now gone. We feel the experience. We feel it. We are feeling it in terms of this climate change, especially the poor people. Like someone said here, poor nations are more affected than some of us. And for this reason, people like Elon Musk want to get off the planet, but that's not the solution. Why can't we take care of it? We are good at creating a wound and stopping the bleeding with Band-Aids and calling it innovation. That's what human beings do. We create a problem, find a solution, and call it innovation. There has not been a single invention or innovation in history that did not have side effects. One of our IBM executives, Jim Sprorer, challenged many American students when he was giving lectures at universities. Think about one technology that did not have a side effect that's detrimental to us. Whether it's the wheel that was used for chariots of war, right? Starting from there, or fire. There has not been one. And he challenged them with $1,000 that he'll give to any student. And Jim Sprorer was in charge of the IBM's university programs over the years. The earth would have been fine if we had left it alone as God created it without our innovations. We would have been free from pollution of air, water, and soil, including our own bodies. On average, we ingest 1 credit card of plastic every month. We are poisoning our bodies. So we would have been free from climate change and weapons of mass destruction if we had left it alone and been content with where God put us. And for this reason, I teach village living, smart villages. We don't need more cities, we need more villages because they're green. Gravity runs it. People walk, they don't need to go to 24/7. They earn by the sweat of their brow and less carbon in the air. So the challenge we face today is one that of a single species on Earth who wants to live independently without any regard to the ecosystem that sustains it. Man was placed on earth like a king in a palace. The sun to labor for him, the moon to light his nights, the elements of nature to be his messengers and slaves, flowers to scent his path, fruit to please his taste, the birds to sing for him, beasts to toil for him and carry him. This is man as God made him. What he made of himself is what we call history. We see it. So along the way somewhere, man lost his way. The paradise in which he once dwelt was lost the home in which he once belonged. The crown that he wore was lost. The estate he once enjoyed was gone. The realm he once ruled is no longer rulable. It has to be ruled by algorithms and AI. So man does not accept his present placement right now in the universe as it lacks permanence and perfection. And that's why we have the Elon Musks of the world looking for another place to go and pollute and destroy. So I just wanted to say a few more, show you a few more slides and a few more thoughts about this. We need to think about designing business systems in the way God designed it. That's ecosystems that are very sustainable. They regulate themselves. Your own human body, look at that ecosystem. Your own human body regulates itself seamlessly. It doesn't wait for anything. It recycles waste. It repairs damage. It reuses byproducts that it creates, repurposes the excess, reduces the intake, rejects impediments, replenishes resources that it loses, replicates the processes through our DNA and RNA, and it reproduces itself. That's an ecosystem. That's the engineering design of an ecosystem that God created. All of nature works like that, not just us. We need to learn from it and say we don't want to counter that design that the designer of the universe himself has created. Why go after man-made stuff because we're too proud, too greedy, right? And so that's something that we need to think about. Those are the 10 R's that I can leave with you. This is Edward Wilson, Harvard's famous professor, entomologist. He said if all mankind were to disappear, the world would regenerate back to the rich state of equilibrium that existed 10,000 years ago. But if insects were to vanish, the environment and the ecosystems will collapse in chaos. We are not the only creature. We are so interdependent on everything else. 40% of our species were gone extinct because the way we are creating stuff that we don't need, like Socrates said. So we are on a sinking boat. So we just need to think about a new way. What got us into this mess anyway? For millennia, we thrived on green energy. Gravity irrigated our fields. The sun powered our sustenance. The cycles of nature preserved our habitats. Over time, our growing desire for more and more and more stuff and comforts and luxuries and entertainment made us to forsake the green for greed. The assets on our balance sheet today were real, like real assets, like arable land, livestock, animals that carried us and transported us, but they are now replaced with what we call intellectual property, knowledge assets. We can't see them, we can't touch them. They're formulas, algorithms that drive our economies. More than 85% of our balance sheets today are intellectual property. When I was going to school in 1975, as an accounting student, when I looked at the balance sheet, 95% of those assets were all real assets, that I can touch them, I can feel them, like tables and chairs and buildings. For this reason, Albert Einstein said, we shall require a substantially new manner of thinking if mankind is to survive. That's what we need to do. Mahatma Gandhi said, Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's need, but not every man's greed. We need to change in our lifestyles. Albert Einstein said another great quote. He said, one of nature's or humanity's biggest forces is exponential growth. Why are we growing? Why do we need all these semiconductors? Where are we headed? Why aren't we satisfied? Our future depends on how we handle this exponential growth in demand for more things, which is killing our planet. True happiness, really comes from being in harmony with nature. We need to learn a lesson. So I hope that our dialogue today with all of us here, I hope it won't be another Band-Aid and calling it innovation, another great idea, but we need to see the results. A lot of efforts are being made all over the world, but I don't see any manifestation of those results. I used to teach accounting for many years, and especially on the topic of accounting fraud, how people lie with numbers, how people demonstrate we're going in the right direction. There's a company called Enron that never existed except on paper. Everyone bought the stock, 9th largest or 7th largest company that didn't even exist. It was just a fake. We know how to lie with numbers. We know how to make these graphs look good and wonderful. But we need to be true. The true result is when people are happy and you see it in people. It needs to be manifested. So we are called as human beings to replenish the earth, the Garden of Eden that it once was. We are to dress it and to keep it. And one of the greatest inspiring statements that I read, if you have been to the United Nations building, right in front of the building, there's a vision that was put on granite, for which the United Nations was established for. That was many, many years ago. The writing is still there, but I haven't seen any manifestation of that. And these are the words. It's called Isaiah Wall, from the prophet Isaiah, from the Bible, Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4. They will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will not take up sword against another nation, nor will they learn war anymore. That is the vision. Learn war no more. If we do not learn quickly, we may have to look for a new heaven and new earth like Elon Musk. So with that, I have a couple of slides that are very impactful that I want to show you. If I have time, if I ran out of time, let me know. I'll quietly sit down. But I just want to show you some slides here, maybe about 5 or 6, that might strike you a little bit. This was a green world. We lived on rivers. In India, we still worship rivers because they are deities. We had respect for nature. And those river civilizations, we moved from Mesopotamia to Egypt and to India and China on the yellow. We were so green. We lived off the land. So that's the old civilization. And we also, this is the green life-sustaining cycles. All this, you learn this in probably 5th grade or 6th grade in school. All those wonderful cycles are ecosystem sustaining. They give us life. But, you know, and all creatures participate in creating these cycles. That's the beauty of this whole thing. That is the beauty and the engineering mind of God, who was very benevolent. However, the human interference of these cycles is destroying our planet. We need phosphorus cycle to keep our DNA. You know, we're destroying that. So just to give one little information. So we moved from even our balance sheet, the way we did business, from food and shelter items into plant, property, and equipment, and from to paper money, from real money, and this is the third wave. So basically we call this progress, but I don't see it, right? But we just moved from green to green, right? And we need to understand that history. We need to understand history. So these are the 10 R's I earlier mentioned, and they drive this whole human, we need all of those things to drive. Our body doesn't function without lungs or kidneys, and the same thing with our ecosystem on the planet. We need the bees. We need the bees. We need the butterflies, right? Very, very important. The problem with technology, which I stated, technology is not the savior, it is a trap. Because look at this technological breakthroughs in energy, communication, transportation. We think, oh, that's great. It gave us comfortable lives, but it's short-term, not long-term focused. So when these energy, communication, and transportation technologies, when they converge, there's an exponential growth in wealth. So that is why our agricultural economy ended right here. And Rome came in and cut down all the forests and sold it as timber. And that is why Augustus Caesar instituted tax on everyone, because he could not contain the army. That's why Rome fell. So you can see, I don't want to go through all this, but I just wanted to, I did this for my students. But in every instance where there's technology breakthrough, it was always about energy, transportation, and communication. That convergence is what created the wealth, right? And of course, we wanted more freedom. That's why we went from monarchical power to democratic power, because it gives us more independence. But sometimes independence also, if it doesn't work with everyone, it's also a problem. I just want to show you this graph. You may have seen it before, but this is about should work, right? Is it going? There. You can see the ice caps, how they're melting. And I didn't really believe in climate change until I saw this video. This is a satellite picture, how the entire ice cap is just shrinking. It's just coming down. And that's the climate change. That's real. That's real. And so I thought people are just making a big propaganda, but then I began to feel that this is really real once I saw a picture from these satellites, right? It's really a declining curve. And we need to do something about this, right? So this is a picture of our, see, when I was in college, intellectual property, now we have 20%. We're making more money with knowledge explosion, and it's a problem. It's not a savior. There's more carbon in the air. There's more pollution of land, soil, and water, and in our bodies. That's not something to be heard about. This is in the last 250 years. In the last 250 years of innovation, we have created these wonderful technologies that are unsustainable technologies. They're ruining our lives. And 250 years, such a short term. And some of these are irreversible. You can't bring all the animals that are extinct back, right? So unbelievable. And this is how we were much better off when we lived in villages. When we lived in villages, we didn't need all this stuff. We didn't need 35 million people on the airplane every year, right? This is the United Nations graph on how the Earth has declined. We are on a declining balance sheet, and these are the assets that sustain it. So we are at about between 36 to 40% of them already gone. Any more, it'll be a sudden death. So we need to realize that. The only time we realize that Earth really needs this is when we had COVID, when the most polluted river in the world, Ganges, was drinkable, could see the fish. So we went from this, from the industrial era, 100%, to this. And we need to have, I'm challenging the students of National Taipei University to create a tool where we can visually see it on every iPhone, every year, which assets are going down and who's causing it, to hold people accountable. This is possible. So we definitely have a balance sheets that are going up, which is corporate balance sheets. That's why the stock market is doing so well. But if you were to put the Earth on the same stock market graph, the value is declining. That is the decline. That's my book, right? The declining balance sheet of the Earth. So we need to think about that. We are on a sinking boat, all of us. We can't say it's your fault or my fault. We're all in the same boat. It's not China's fault. It's not Americans' fault. So the problem is overconsumption. Even in our own country, our hamburger got much bigger. There's so much fat on Americans that we don't need for 1 billion people to be born. There's enough fat ready to be consumed. We're cutting down our trees, like Easter Island. Easter Island was extinct because they cut down trees for worshiping and creating these big statues. And when the last tree was cut down, the people became extinct. So we just need to think about this. We need to build things. Even the pyramids were built with green energy by gravity and also by people doing it. So the man-made stuff today is being built with carbon. And see, the pyramids here, 50,000 great pyramids of Giza, right, are built by green technology. But today, we are doing the same thing, but with carbon, right? This is the biomass slide. And see, this is the amount of plastic we have compared to real animal kingdom. So how could animals even live? Animals are unwelcomed in our society. So I just wanted to show you that more animals are being extinct, more than 40% insects. So we just need to think about how we are going to solve this problem. So I think I overstayed my welcome here. So I'll just quit. And so I'll turn it over to someone who may want to ask me a question. So if we don't have time for that, I'll be in the lobby to talk about this further on how we can do it. In summary, we need to change our lifestyles. We cannot keep on creating technology that's going to consume energy. there needs to be a change in life and change in mind and in our lifestyle to be greener. That goes back to faith-based values. We lost values over there. We don't teach values anymore in our schools and universities. We teach them on technology, we teach them how to business, how to make money, but we don't teach values to respect the planet, respect who we are, respect other human beings. I think that's the solution, and that will save us, but not technology. Sorry to say. God bless you.
Thank you, Professor Solomon Darwin. And we will now have the distinct honor to hear from Mr. Yan Bo-wen, CEO of Buddhist Tzu Chi Charity Foundation, to deliver his speech.
Esteemed scholars and distinguished guests, good morning. I'm so honored to be here at this beautiful campus, Taipei University, and very grateful for this opportunity to share with you Tzu Chi's environmental missions. And I'd like to say a few words before my presentation, and thanks Professor Solomon Darwin for your inspirational and profound speech. I fully with you, especially the 7 useless things. And your speech is very useful. Let me begin with the previous slide, please. I would like to quote the words by NASA's climate change website. And there is unequivocal evidence that Earth is warming at an unprecedented rate, and human activity is the principal cause. As Professor Darwin say, we human beings is just one of the 8 million animal species on Earth. However, we are the major contributor to this global warming. And another page from NASA. I've been following this NASA's global climate change. The page is talking about the vital signs of the planet. And since 2017, I watch out this page, and it's began with 5 indicators, and now using 7 indicators to to monitor the global vital signs. And as you can see here, all 7 indicators are moving to the deteriorating directions, including especially the carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere and global surface temperature. And actually, I need to update almost every quarter, and this is my update. And a little bit about Tzu Chi Foundation. Tzu Chi Foundation is founded by Dharma Master Zheng Yan in 1966. So this year is our 58 years. And Tzu means compassion. Ji translates to relief. So put them together, Tzu Chi means compassionate relief. That's our core value, core mission. And one of the key master teaching is we treat all living beings equally. So master teaches us we inspire the compassion and gratitude in both giver and receiver. And this is Tzu Chi's organization, and Tzu Chi has 4 main mission or core mission. There are charity, medicine, education, and humanistic culture. 4个基金会。And together with other 4 functional missions, there are international disaster relief, bone marrow donation, environmental protection, and community volunteerism, including home care, home visiting, and financial support. So I will focus my talk on environmental protection. And several years ago, I asked my staff to do a mapping with Tzuji's 4 main missions and 4+4. So we call it the 8 footprints with the sustainable development goals. And actually, we found it's pretty much similarly aligned with SDG goals. And since the very beginning, Tzuji already very focused on environmental aspects and social aspects. And now we are put more focus on governance. And this is concerning that the environmental change, climate change, conflict change. Going forward, we need to watch out the long-term sustainability. And this is a snapshot about Tzuji. Tzuji, right now we have built over 600 offices in 66 countries and territories. And we have reached out our humanitarian aid in 136 countries and territories. Our medical foundation, we have TIMA, Tzuji International Medical Association, Tzuji Renyihui, which comprises of near 9,000 medical professionals. We have conducted over 18,000 free clinics in 58 countries. We're taking care of over 4 million visitors, our patients. And we built over 250 schools in 17 countries and territories, and also over 22,000 units, that is permanent house, in 18 countries. And more focused on environmental mission. This is in 1990, Dharma Master Zhen Yan gave a speech in Taichung area, a vocational high school. And she was interrupted many times by warm applause from the audience. And because Master just, she saw that at that time in Taiwan, it's very common sense that our market and street, there are a lot of trash left over. So Master just came out with an idea. She said, why don't we use your applauding hands to do the recycling? That is the start of Tzuji's environmental mission. And since then, Tzuji continues to extend our environmental mission to up to, right now we have 100,000 recycling volunteers worldwide and 10,000 recycling points in 19 countries and territories. Here in Taiwan, we are about near 8,000 recycling points and stations. And this is in 2016, the Wall Street Journal praised Taiwan's garbage disposal as the world leading role in this area. And he even comments that world's genius of garbage disposal. At that time, Taiwan's recycling rate is 55%. It's way outperformed than United States 35%. And this is Tzuji's environmental mission, and we call it the 3 circulation or 3 circles. And in the very beginning, we just have our recycling volunteers. They're sorting, collecting, and sorting those trash. But however, our master never say that is the trash or garbage. We say trash or garbage is, material put in the wrong place. So we always see it as resources. And our volunteers collect those plastics or metals, and we turn it into the semi-finished products or raw materials. And with our partners and our Daai technology company and Jinshi technology company, we make it become eco products, including my suits and shirt and pants I'm wearing today are all made from recycled plastics. And we use this, the income of this recycling business to support our Daai TV station. That is non-profit NPO, and no advertisement, no income. So we support this Daai TV station to encourage people to go into more activities on goodness or environmental protection, or doing the humanistic culture, or to go to the third circle, in the goodness circle. That is all Tzuchi's mission. We have 4 foundations. Together, we go to this to support humanitarian aid with the international disaster relief. And that is pretty unique. Of an NGO can have these 3 circles, to support the humanitarian aid. And this is also the SDG 17, the last SDG goals, the global partnership for the goals. And this is some part of Daai technology companies, their products. We call it the compassion technology for relief. That's like the blanket is very useful, and we have distributed over 1 million blankets to 17 countries for the disaster relief. And this is one photo, and 2 years ago, when Russia-Ukraine war, our Tzuchi volunteers from 13 countries gathered in Poland to do the distribution, not only the blanket, but also the cash to support the refugee in Poland to go on their leave. And this is another company, we call it Jinshi. Jinshi in Chinese is purifying mind. It's another company from Tzuchi. And that is a multiple purpose portable bed. It's very useful for the international disaster relief, not only international, but also here in Taiwan. And as you can see that it also can be used for temporary hospital bed. That is in 2015, there's a very big earthquake in Nepal. And you can see that, and this is a temporary hospital bed for the children, when these children need medical care. And this year, April 3rd, Taiwan, we have suffered the 2nd largest earthquake in Taiwan in this century. And as you can see here, we have eco products in the shelter, for the disaster. The people affected, they are more comfortable and more privacy, when they stay in the shelter. And the shelter was set up within the 4 hours after the earthquake in the Hualien city, in the one elementary school, their gym. And this is a last earthquake in 2018. At that time, even though Tzuchi support multiple foldable bed and blanket, but still, it's not very comfortable. No privacy between the families. So, since then, our volunteers, they are dedicated to invent this partition, And this is the same situation, same elementary school, same shelter, and we can set up those whole set for the affected people within 4 hours. That even before the disaster, people they are coming into this shelter. And the beauty is all those products, eco products, are coming from our recycled plastics materials by our volunteers. And you can see they are inspired by Dharma Master Zhen Yan. They say they vow to do recycling to the last breath of their lives. They even say in front of Master, they say we become more physically healthy and mentally profound. And they say they don't need long-term care. We want to take care of others, even though they are probably in the 70 to 80 years old. So you can see that this is one of our sister, Cai Kwan. She's now 105 years old. She's doing the recycling every day. And I will switch my topic to the to use SRI, by the KPMG's guidance, and we use SRI analysis to examine how Tzu Chi's environmental protection, our environmental mission, the contribution by this mission. And this is this report also sent to Social Value International. This is the only one third-party certification institution in the world. And actually, Tzu Chi started this using SRI analysis to examine Tzu Chi's mission in 2018. And this is our second project. And the coverage is whole Taiwan, about 8,500 spots around the Taiwan. And this is a 78-page report, so I only grabbed a few pages to introduce you, to explain you how Tzu Chi doing this SRI on to examine Tzu Chi's environmental mission. And there are 6 categories. And so Tzu Chi's environmental station, recycling station, is not only doing the recycling, we also teach environmental protection, also provide a vegetarian meal, and also encourage them to do the exercise and also learning some of the Dharma from our Master Zhen Yan. And there are 6 categories, including environmental education, and also one very specific area is a medical assisted device. Those we call the environmental medical assisted device, 环保辅具. There are many poor people, they need that, especially the 电动床. And this is our result. I would like to focus on 2 numbers, SOI value. SOI value, the first one is 6.34. That is a standard calculation. The SOI is standard calculation, because this standard calculation, they take volunteers, their work hour into the cost. So we got the 6.34. What does this SOI value means? It means that you invest $1 in this mission, you generate 6.34 times of economic value. That's 6.34 means. And I ask for another number because our volunteers, they are unpaid. They are volunteers. So for Tzu Chi Foundation, we spend very, very little cost on this area. So when we take off the volunteers' man-hour cost, and it will reach 152.7. That means we invest $1 in this environmental mission, and it generates 152 times economic value. And who benefited most from this environmental mission? The top four account for 85% benefits of total benefits. And interestingly, the top three go to volunteers themselves. The number one is better family relationships. Number two is improve physical health. Number three, improve individual sense of achievement. The number four is really contribute to the carbon reduction results. So why is that? It's actually can prove Master's teaching and also Buddha's teachings. Everything you give to others will come back to you. You do more, you get more. You get more, you can do more. You can do more, you can get more. That becomes a virtuous circle. So last page, I would say Master Cheng Yen made a tremendous contribution to Taiwan's environmental awareness. And many of our Tzu Chi volunteers, they are entrepreneurs. They are actually inspired by Master. They collaboratively extend a mission to more than recycling. Like the company I just mentioned, Dai Technology Company and Jinsi Technology Company, they made those eco products not for daily life, daily use. It's for humanitarian aid. And Tzu Chi's humanitarian environmental mission has evolved to economic, spiritual, and goodness circulation, three circulations combined. And SOI result proved Master's teaching, the givers should show respect and gratitude to the receivers. So Master Cheng Yen's master, Dharma Master Yin Sun, gave Master Cheng Yen 6 words in Chinese for Buddhism, for all living beings. That is Master Cheng Yen's her entire life's mission is for these 6 Chinese words. And when we say all beings, means all living beings, including all kind of species. And Tzu Chi's model, I would say, is the best long-term care system. Our volunteers, they say they don't need long-term care. On the opposite, they want to take care of others. That is the best long-term care in the world, I would say that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Yin, for your informational speech. And now we would like to welcome Professor Li Jianming, Institute of Natural Resource Management, to deliver his speech.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chairman Li from Institute of Natural Resource Management. This is my pleasure to invite here and share some idea or concept with you. I'm fully agree, Professor Dan, in your concluding mention that we need to change our lifestyle. I think it's very, very important. So actually, we use 1 ton carbon credit from VERA, VCS Verified Carbon Standard, to offset all transportation emission from the odium lease room. So this is a quasi carbon neutral forum. So I think this is a change idea and change our style, lifestyle. The further thing, I think my time is very limited, so I just use 10 or 20 minutes to share my topic, climate change and ESG performance. This is my content. The first one I will show you net zero challenge and the carbon risk management or carbon risk impact. Okay, carbon risk actually impact. The second one I will describe carbon credit, how to boost the ESG performance in industry. The third one, I will show you AI innovation and the carbon credit bridge. How to use AI tools to facilitate some action of energy saving from the industry to use carbon bridge these activities. Finally, is my conclusion. How the net zero challenge and the carbon risk management or impact. I think a lot of people know, feel that the temperature change or climate change come approach to us, but actually people not realize how serious impact or how status of this climate change. So these are two, one picture, one table will show you. This is a status of climate temperature increase. From this figure, we can see global surface air temperature actually in July last year has almost reached to 16 degrees Celsius. Actually, is broken our target. So from the according to the IPCC predict maybe 5 or 6 years we will the Earth will enter into a normalized high temperature area. So this is the one the picture show you. How serious impact actually people not really realize, understand. So from the IPCC report last year, category this climate disaster. This paper shows us, for example, biodiversity loss. If the temperature increase 2 degrees Celsius compared to 1.5 degrees Celsius, the biodiversity loss will more 1.3 times. However, actually, the Earth approach to 3 degrees Celsius. So actually, we will in our future will face a very serious climate disaster. And if this temperature became to normalize, I think people cannot solve this problem. So this is the climate urgency. Actually, will give us a very huge, serious physical risk. And AI, artificial intelligence, and climate change are two pillars of a global transition. We know recent year the AI emerges in our industry. So how AI will harm our climate change or will help our climate change? They are two prosperity. So we know AI is a monster of electricity user. So this way will impact our, will harm our climate change. But if we a good use the AI maybe can serve our climate change. So these two pillars may well be the two biggest determining factors in how human beings will live and work in the decades to come. The key pillars on which both environmental and economic survival and prosperity can be built. This figure shows us this is a 1.5 pathway. It indicates that we need to reduce our greenhouse gas emission by 43% by 2030. However, we just under all of the parties in the UNFCCC, they are nationally determined contribution. This movement just reduce 5 point, around the 5 point greenhouse gas emission reduction by 2030. So this is 8-4 emission gap. So we from this figure we can see the first thing of the priority thing is a call for all parties must raise new and more ambitious NDC in line with 1.5 at COP 30 was held by 2025. So how to stimulate the countries increase their more ambitious use Article 6 of Paris Agreement to promote international cooperation is a very important strategies. So Article 6 of carbon trading, what is a function to increase our ambitious NDC? There are two kinds of ideas. This is our 1.5 pathway, but now countries just commitment this way, countries NDC. So use Article 6 and the voluntary carbon market can achieve two functions. The first one, mitigation contribution, actually will fill the action gap. Then use international carbon trading will reduce our emission, our cost of emission reduction, which will increase our ambition. So the second function is offsetting, support the ambition raising beyond host country NDC. So this is the key role of Article 6 or international cooperation reduction. This is evident from the IETA, International Emission Trading Association, last year. Their research showed that if we independent independent reduction, the price maybe the abandonment cost maybe reach 111 and 132 US dollar per ton CO2 emission. However, if we can cooperate, then the abandonment cost will huge reduce to 16 to 27 US dollar per ton CO2 emission. So this means that the ambition of global NDC can be greatly increased if we cooperation, if we use international carbon trading. The other challenge comes from the new standard for corporate carbon neutrality, ISO 14068-1. This standard shows us if you want to reach carbon neutral or net zero, you need have three portfolio activities. One is emission reduction. The other one is carbon removal. The third one use carbon credit to offset your GHG emissions. But when you verify this action, there are three stages must be followed up. The first stage, emission reduction, carbon sink, and offset by, very important, offset by emission reduction carbon credits. The mid-term emission reduction also, and the carbon sink also, and the offset by renewable carbon credit. These are difference in first stage, early stage, and the mid stage. Finally, you cannot use any carbon credit. You just can use a carbon sink by yourself to offset your residual greenhouse gas emission. So this is a very important new standard for all of enterprise need to follow up or comply in the future. So carbon risk impact, this is a very is a key issue of ESG performance, because race to zero approach will result two pressure, one from supply chain, the other from investment and financing pressure by financing institute. This will increase our cost. So we call this is a carbon risk. And will increase carbon cost as a share of revenue. So almost the research show that if the carbon price reach 100 US dollar per ton CO2 emission, will reduce their revenue by more than 20%. So how to manage this carbon risk? We need to portfolio strategy. One is in energy efficiency, the other green power, purchase green power, and use carbon credit to offset the residual greenhouse gas emission. So finally, our ESG performance there are two kind of performance to show our ESG performance. One is traditional financial performance, but now we need to know we need build up a new paradigm, climate performance. So these two kinds of performance is really a genuine ESG performance. So this is in the future, we want to show our ESG performance. We need to show two kinds of performance. One is from financial. This is traditional. This is a new one. So how to build up our climate performance? We can use our carbon credit and to boost the ESG performance. So actually, from the just mentioned that there are three pillars of climate action for net zero. One is energy transition. Depend on the, it's very high depend on the grid decarbonization. So this is the government things need to responsible to faster to let the grid decarbonization. The second one, carbon dioxide removal. For example, plant trees to increase carbon sink or develop direct air capture technology to directly remove CO2 emission. We call this is a carbon capture and storage technology. So this is a very important based available control technology, BACT, for our net zero, to reach our net zero target. The other one, international cooperation, carbon trading, under Article 6 of the Paris Agreement, or to do some investment in the international society to get the carbon credit from like a Vera or gold standard. So now we need to know the time before actually in the world has a very confused or complicated the matrix to show ESG. So now there are a new ESG matrix for micro, small, medium enterprise. So it's very important because lots of enterprise is belong to micro, small, and medium. So how to let them can easy and user friendly and cost effective to show their ESG performance is very important. So UNDP last year developed a technology pillar focused on major market corporate to innovative solution. So I will show very quickly the new matrix of environmental, just these 6 matrices. One is scope 1, GHG emission. Scope 2, GHG emission. Calculation intensity, energy consumption or energy conservation, and water consumption or water conservation, waste generation or waste recycling. So this is very clearly to show your environmental. And these six environmental matrices will fit 4 SDG, SDG 6, 7, 12, and 13. And the matrix of social dimension, there are 5 key matrices. The first one, just recall the head count, youth highest, women highest, workplace safety, and financial inclusion. And the other governments, just 4 key matrices. One is business registration. Second one, business compliance. The third one, accurate financial records. And the last one, transparency in financial transitions. So this is a new matrix of ESG performance for micro, small, medium enterprise. So we need to know if we invest carbon credit, actually it will show very huge returns. This is the research from the carbon credit .com show that they are almost 5 times returns And far away, the second one. Second one is Bitcoin. And the third one is Nasdaq. So it's a new asset for industry to invest. And in addition, we'll create various SDG target. So it's very important. I will say invest in carbon credit project, in particular nature-based solution, can help companies financial, not only financial, but also climate performance, as well as ESG performance. So how a carbon credit can create what kind of benefit? For example, this come from the EU in June this year. They just passed nature restoration law. In this law indicate that investing €1 in nature restoration can create a synergistic effect or benefit of 4 to 38 euros. So these various benefits come from improve the resilience of forestry to climate change. The second one, restore degraded ecosystems. The third one, promote the bioeconomy while preserving biodiversity. The fourth, increase carbon store in soil and forestry. 5, increase the use of long-lasting wood and bioproduct. Support production of sustainable food. So this is 6 kind of environmental benefit from the invest €1 in nature-based carbon thing. This is the example from the TCX in Singapore. In 2002, he showed that a carbon credit project can get 14 SDG. So this SDG will boost his value, reach to 27.8 US dollar per ton CO2 equivalent. Another way, this year, ecosystem marketplace shows us the price of carbon dioxide removal project is about 3 times higher than the price of reduction project. This in 2003, from removal carbon credit cost a value of 15.91 US dollar. If the credit from reduction project just value 4.61 US dollar per ton CO2 carbon credit. So it's a very good example of ESG performance in Microsoft. Microsoft actually has reached its carbon neutrality in 2012, more than 10 years ago. Actually, this company reached carbon neutral. Since 2020, it has reduced Scope 1, Scope 2 greenhouse gas emission by 6% from improving energy efficiency and purchasing green electricity. In 2023, it will all use carbon credit to offset 180 million CO2 emission equivalent group greenhouse gas emissions. So this year, Microsoft and Timberland Invest Group cooperate to create a very large carbon renewable project. They has a transition in history this year, accumulating 8 million tons of soil carbon sequestration by 2043. So it's a very good example. Use carbon credit to reach their very climate action. So how AI innovation, how to stimulate the industry do more activity reduction investment. There are three stages for strategies for net zero race in industry. I call this is avoid, reduce, and create. Avoid emission, reduce emission, and use reduce emission and avoid emission to create a carbon credit. So this one and this one is industry. They are popular use, but they're not easy to create a carbon credit. So how to use AI innovation to use carbon to bridge their reduction activity is very important to encourage industry to do more reduction activity investment. So now we now this moment we just thinking about how to use AI to produce PDD. Why is PDD? PDD is a project design document. It's an important document for enterprise to apply for carbon credit. So how to use your carbon project, use the AI tool from the structural scope and the project type and mapping methodology and the mapping the past PDD, use this training, and finally can output a PDD document. Use this PDD document to apply a carbon project, carbon credit project to the government or international institute, or even UNFCCC. So use this tool maybe can very faster to facilitate people to do more. Just I mentioned that layer reduction activity, because this is a very high cost. So will barrier industry do more investment in reduction activity. But if he can easy to change from the reduction activity to carbon credit, maybe will encourage them do more reduction investment in their industry workplace. So the conclusion is companies must realize that the race to this zero or net zero is a race for corporate competitiveness. Is very important. So and if Intel have this realize, so the boss will show ambition and the speed for race to zero. If our climate change response is regarding as opportunity. So competitiveness is an opportunity. So how to change our mind of the goal of our industry is very important. And net zero should become a new paradigm for enterprise. Climate resilience is the new landmark for building corporate ESG. Investing in carbon credit project can create both financial and academic performance, just I mentioned that. And it's a priority strategy for companies to improve their ESG performance. The last one, the application of AI or use of AI tool can accelerate the acquisition of carbon credit project, helping companies induce carbon reduction investment and accelerate the company's net zero transition and maintain net zero competitiveness. That's my presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Professor Li. And finally, concluding our keynote speeches, we'll hear from Professor Zhang Yushan, Dean of the College of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science, to share his perspectives.
Oh, thank you. Good morning, dear distinguished and respected guests. Thank you, your participant in this section. I'm very appreciative the forum invite me and give us the opportunity to present our work. My work is titled Digital Support and Embedded Communication, the development, support, and promotion of AI-assisted communication for speech impairment. Okay. First, I would like to invite our team member, Professor Lin Zhaoyin, to present, to give a short introduction of our project. Professor Lin, thank you.
And the next? Okay, so okay, so first I will introduce our team members. So of course you saw Professor Chen and Professor Dai Minyu and me and one more professors come. So we have projects with 4 sub-projects and with 5 researchers. So you can see the names. And because this topic is about the ESG, so here we just show our commitment to the research social responsibility, so focusing on the S. And I will provide a brief introduction to our research. First, we focus on the people with speech impairments who face serious problems in communications, which might influence their education, improvement, and social life. But as the advancement of technology, the technology has been applied to assistive devices, just as we heard about from the previous presenters talk about the environmental assistive devices. So we use the AI, we apply AI to assist devices, which is so-called inclusive technology, which attempts to enhance the quality of life among people with disabilities. And we focus on this group of people with speech impairments. So not everyone has the privilege of being born with a natural gift for speaking eloquently. People with speech impairments may get tongue-tied, nervous in front of others, and not know what to say. So there are various types of speech disorders, and can range from the very severe or to the very mild. And they all have some common speech disorders. In Taiwan, those people will be seen as people with the disabilities, and they can hold a kind of disability cards. And in Taiwan, these people will register with the Ministry of Health and Welfare, and there were around 12,000 by the end of 2022, which accounted 1.04 of those who holding the disability cards in Taiwan. But nonetheless, not all these people with speech disorders. For some people who didn't have the disability cards, but they also have speech impairments. For example, like people with CP, ALS, and post-surgery for oral or neck cancers. So some kind of cancer patients who also might have speech disorders. And therefore, we wanted to help these people with AI-assisted devices or softwares for people with speech impairments. And as we know, AI technology has been developed very quickly, and employment in every variety of areas, which has significant influence in our lives. And some AI-powered platforms are designed to recognize and translate speech by people with underlying medical conditions, disabilities, or age-related conditions. That means their speech is hard to be understood. The technology is based on machine learning and speech recognitions and are customized to the users, allowing the platform to assimilate each user's unique way of speaking. So the AI technology can help synthesize voice based on previous voice saved in database. For example, people with ALS could save their voice in advance, and that could be used for synthesize their voice when they totally lost their ability to speak. So therefore, we apply this kind of technology to these people with speech disabilities, and we help them to use this kind of devices or systems. And so we have some kind of pre-test and post-test. And we wanted to see whether any kind of improvements of their quality of life. So we were tested their quality of life with standardized questionnaires from WHO. And then we will see whether they have changed their quality of life before and after the AI-assisted devices for speech synthesis or speech recognitions. So our because this is a project sponsored by the National Science Councils, so we have a serious methodology process. So we have just selected some participants. So these people are supposed to be with speech impairments and age between 18 and 80 years old. And our research process, our research procedures, that first we will recruit these participants from the communities. And then we will conduct informed consent meetings and collect their quality of life before they join our projects. And then we will collect their voices with online system. And then we will conduct the post-test of the questionnaires, and then conduct the satisfaction surveys for our AI technologies. So, and then there's a brief introduction of our projects. And later, Professor Zhang will show the detailed process of the technology.
Okay, thank you. Next, I could like to present the methodology of sub-project. The sub-project one is a term voice bank for ALS patients. The goal is when the patient is diagnosed with ALS, his voice can be collected while he can still speak. Then his voice can be generated through AI in the future. His similar voice can be used to communicate with others. Please skip here one. No. Push it. This PDF file? Oh, not the PowerPointer. Okay. This PowerPoint we have showed the voice, normal voice before diagnosis, ALS, and 我早上寄给你那个。All right. So we can see that the voice before before patient is diagnosed the ALS, we can collect the voice and then we can use the voice to train the AI model to generate his similar voice. And then we can use the similar voice to for him to communicate with others after he cannot speak well. So this project will first we build a web page to collect the patient voice and then use the AI to train the model. Okay, and we could like to construct personalized text-to-speech for LOS to communicate with others. So until now, the personalized text-to-speech system, we have constructed 41 LOS patient to on the voice bank. Next one. Okay, this is the flow chart of use the voice bank. Sorry. This is an example how to use the our system to recording the speech. First, we collect the patient the speech and the recording, and then this slides, this image is used to personalize the TTS with the assistant keyboard. And when the patient just only can use the eyes control mouse to typewrite what do you say, and play the voice. Okay. Second sub project is ASA, autonomous speech recognition for individual with speech impairment. For the patient with speech impairment, we first collect enough of his speech to train the recognition model, and then recognize his speech and convert it into correct sentence. And then we play the sentence through the text-to-speech. Okay, Emma. Okay. This is an example. This is an example. Is my student. His speech is not clear. I cannot understand what you say. So use our system, we can translate the sentence, what he said, into the Chinese. So he can press the button to press the voice. Yes, this is a correct Chinese voice. Thank you. In this sub-project, we developed a web page to collect the voice, and another web page to translate the voice into the correct sentence. Okay. In this project until now, we have developed many model for personalized patient. Here is the 12 patient join ups, and we collect the number of audio file. Okay, so we have a assessment train model. The current accuracy rate for free communication is at 70%, and we hope that we can achieve the 80 to 90% in the future. For example, the image, the picture shows that the success of 38 success sentence, and fair sentence is 10. So the recognition success rate is about 79. Okay, because the collection audio file from the patient is very difficult, because I cannot understand what he said. So each speech disorder present a unique challenge, make it impossible to share the speech data. So it is difficult to train a well-performed, personalized recognition model in the short period. So I would like to use the genetic adversary network AI to generate the audio file similar to the loss of the individual, which can then be used to train the recognition model. Okay. Due to the time limit, so we skip the sub-project read. Next, I invite Professor Lin to show the result.
Okay, I will draw the conclusions. Yeah, okay, thank you. In the last years, we have collected, we have 95 persons have joined our research, and some of them are disabled people, or they are patients. So all these patients and disabled persons who just fill their questionnaires. So then we have 39 persons who write the questionnaires, and most of them, most of them have a university degree or master or even PhD degrees. That means these people are with very high educations compared to general disabled persons, and that's why they can join our research, because you need the AI literacies. And the evaluations that just like they feel they are not, their life satisfaction is about 3.1, and their health status is even lower. So they are not very satisfied with their life and their health status. But compared to the other populations, like people with general population in Taiwan, and these people obviously, they have a lower quality of life compared to the general populations in Taiwan, and even compared to the patients with cancers or the visual impairments or with the facial impairments. Those people with speech disorders all show that lower life satisfactions in their physical domains, psychological domains, and social relation domains. Apart from compared to people with visual impairments and low socioeconomic status. That means they have a double disadvantage in this respect. So we have entered the second years of our research, and we are a lot of work to do in the futures. And first, according to the experience in the first years, we have some adjustment. First, we will reduce the criteria, reduce the age of our participant from 18 years old to the 12 years old. That means for the children and young peoples, because this kind of AI assist devices may be more useful for them in their earlier stage, earlier life cycles. And then we are now trying to create a customized or user service system which powered by AI based to answer all these questions, because people who join our project has a lot of questions and barriers and difficulties to overcome, and we would like to help them, support them to join our research, and hope this system can help them to improve their life. And that's it, and thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thanks again for all speakers who have shared such informational knowledge of sustainability, innovation, and also social responsibility. We would like to have a big applause to them again. So before we conclude, I'm delighted to announce a significant moment for both National Taipei University and the University of California, Berkeley. We will proceed with a MOU signing ceremony, and it signifies a commitment to academic cooperation and mutual support between both institutions. So we would like to welcome Professor Chi, Professor Solomon Darwin, and also Professor Dai to confront for the signing ceremony. Okay, so we will now welcome Professor Solomon and Professor Chi to sign this MOU first. And now we can pass it to Professor Dai and also exchange the MOU contract. Okay, and now we can see the MOU have been signed, and maybe we can hold the contract together and have a photo. And look at the camera in front. Please hold it together. Okay. Okay. Big smile. Thank you once again for signing the contract. Okay, and then we would like to present our gifts to our honorable guests and also the certificates. Okay. Oh, sure. Okay, sure. Okay, is it? Maybe you can, okay, stand in the middle. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And we'll also like to present our gifts. It's a cute bear representing our National Taipei University. And also we would like to invite Mr. Yan so to come forward to the stage. We would like to present gifts to CEO Yan. Yes. Okay, please look in the camera right here. Okay, thank you. And also we would like to invite CEO Tian to come front to the board. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And the forum has come to an end. Thank you once again for joining us today. Throughout today's forum, we hope that we can foster new ideas and collaborations that will contribute to a sustainable and prosperous future. So please remember your personal belongings before leaving. Thank you once again for joining us today.